I got a bunch of yeses. Okay. Welcome, everyone. My name is Mike Johnson. I'd like to welcome you to the Social Integration in Your Blog webinar for members of Profit FM. Thank you once again for being great members, and I love the opportunity to be able to talk to you and train you in a more direct mode. I'm a little bit more comfortable sitting here talking to you and training this way than doing some of the videos I have to do where I know nobody's listening and I'm just sitting there talking. So this is kind of an important part of what you need to do with your blog. Building a niche authority blog is tough in its own right, but getting people to see your blog and getting to visit your blog is a huge part of it. And when you go through the course, I talk about the need to build community. One of the sections in Profit FM that I consider the most crucial, although the video is agonizingly long at 55 minutes, is the profit triggers, the content evolution of your blog section of Profit FM. Now, the big thing with this section is we talk about those triggers, the mental triggers and sales triggers that get people to interact with your content, right? It's not a magic formula. It's not something that you can just make happen. I really wish it was, or else we'd all be sitting here, as millionaires instead of doing what we do. But the reality is, if you want to create a blog that does take you to those $10,000, $20,000 per month, stratosphere and blogging for a single blog, which is more than possible. It's a reality right now. But what you need to do is be able to use those triggers to build a sense of community on your blog, to show that you have authority, show you have expertise, and part of that is being able to communicate effectively with the people that visit your blog, even, and this is the important part, even when you feel like nobody's listening. So social media sometimes can be very, very quiet, and you don't think something's happening out there. You're sending these signals out. You're doing the things that I'm going to go over here in this live training, and then you say to yourself, man, I don't feel like this is accomplishing anything. But the reality is you are accomplishing something. You have to build a foundation here. Even in the beginning, you're going to find that you have to build a foundation, a social foundation for visitors that might not come today, but that come 2 months from now, and they come and they see what you've built. They see the content you have. They see the interaction you've had through social channels, and they say, hey, I want to be a part of this. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. Your blog's not going to be built in a day either. I call this a marathon versus a sprint. It doesn't matter what kind of blog you're building, under what niche. To expect it to be making money in 2 weeks, like some of these get-rich-quick schemes tell you, is, especially with the way Google is now and the other social sites, how they're really clamping down on things, it's a pipe dream. You have to come back to reality, realize that the development of this site is going to be profitable. You're going to make, if you do things right, you can make money right away. But what's going to happen is it's going to grow. The more you do this, the more authority you build, the more community you build through triggers and interaction on your blog socially, the bigger and better your profits are going to be. It's all interconnected. It's all a big part of one singular system. It's going to take you to where you need to go. And that's why with Profit FM, we focus on one blog. We focus on 2 blogs, in the beginning, because that's all you need. If you pick the right niche through Niche FM, you don't need any more. But let's get into what this social interaction, social integration of your blog is all about. Okay. Hey, understand, just a real quick caveat before I get into this, is Gary, who's just moved to France, is attempting to log on and participate with the webinar right now, but his audio won't connect. He's having a difficult time with it. Hopefully by the time we we really get into this, he's able to connect and get online with us. But right now, he just got a message via Skype saying he's trying to dial in via phone on Skype to get into the webinar. So we'll see if he can get in here. So if I don't answer any questions till the end, it's because I can't do the webinar and answer questions via the module here at the same time. Okay, so I apologize in advance for that. So moving on, we're going to look at what social media signals are. Okay, when you talk about social media signals, this is what is broadcast across the web every time you interact socially. Every time you say something on Facebook, every time you say something on Twitter, especially Twitter, every time you say something Google, LinkedIn, YouTube, it's out there, it's floating around, and it's continually going to be propagated, republished, etc. As long as you have it on public. Even private things are very, very difficult to keep from being shared, because once you have a friend or a follower repurpose any kind of content or thing that you said, it's out there. You can't get it back. So it's important to really, make sure that when you're sending out social media signals that you keep your game face on. Okay, all these things, Twitter tweets, Facebook likes, sends, shares, Google Plus interaction, LinkedIn posts, YouTube, and other video stuff where you interact, and all the other, what I call sub social media sites that are kind of not the top tier, but there's hundreds of lower tier social media sites you can interact with as well, and some of them are on the required accounts page. But we're talking about big accounts. The thing that you need to understand more than anything, and it's one of the things I continue to have a problem with, is the fact that when you say something, it's very hard to get that back. Being open and honest is what you need to do with social media, but at the same time, you don't need to be honest to the point of failure, meaning don't say negative things, don't say hateful things, even when you think them. Controversy does stir social media interaction. We'll talk about that a little bit, but there's a difference between controversy and just being nasty. And when you're nasty on the web, through social media, you'll end up losing more fans and followers than you'll ever gain. So you can use all the tricks and stuff you want to out there, but you need to hold yourself back, whether it's on your blog posts or blog comments on your site, a Facebook posting, Twitter tweet, whatever. You can't get that stuff back once you type it and it's gone. Once it's out there, yeah, you can delete a post on Facebook, but Twitter, you're not getting it back. LinkedIn, you're not getting it back. So just remember that. It's very important. You can delete blog comments too, but then once you start deleting stuff, much like a forum post, you lose credibility. And social media is a branch of what we talk about, and building your brand and building that authority. Well, part of that is building credibility. If you have no credibility in your niche, then you're not going to go anywhere. All right, you have to have credibility. Does that mean, like I said in the previous webinars, does that mean you have to be an expert in your niche? Really? No. You need to be the best you can be operating in that niche. Okay, I got a message that Gary says he's on via Skype. Okay, excellent, Gary. Thanks. So, no problem, Gary. That's fine. But moving on, these are your big social media signals. These are the ones that propagate Google more than anything, and why they're important is they will, we have to admit that Google is the lion out there. Google is the monster that we have to respect. We have to feed it. We have to feed it and respect it if we want to gain what it can give us back. And by using these social media signals, we can use Google and these social media sites together to not just pull in traffic to our blog, but to also do everything I already said: build our brand, build authority, build credibility, show your expertise, create a community for you and your blog. Okay, so all this is very important, and they all interact, and I'll show you what I mean here in a little bit. Okay, the next part of social media signals is your on page or your on site social media signals. Okay, we talk about the signals that you send out from the social media sites, but now you're talking about the social media signals that you can send right from your blog. Okay, now from your blog, I'm sorry, my Skype's going haywire here. I keep getting all these. Yes, I got all kinds of postings popping up and creating sounds for us. Okay, back to where I was at. You send social media signals from your blog as well. Okay, and this is different than your interaction on the social media sites itself. The impact is different. Okay, a lot of people get really caught up in the interaction on their site. And let's talk about the impact of each one of these items here. Okay, first off, we have blog comments. Blog comments can be one of the greatest assets to your site above and beyond everything else. Okay, beyond Facebook, everything. And that's because if you're getting blog comments and you're getting people to interact on your site, that means you're building that community we talked about. It means you're getting that interaction, and people are coming back to comment and interact with the content on your site. Okay, and if you can keep that building, that will continue to help you. And now Google is indexing across the board. They're indexing all blog comments from all the platforms now, even the JavaScript comments from not just your normal WordPress blog comments, but they're indexing those. They've always indexed those, but they're also indexing like Discuss. If you've heard of this Discuss blog commenting for plugin for WordPress, you have Intense Debate, and you have Livefire, the big ones right now. The social comment feature of Social FM. All these things, all those comments are being indexed by Google. And when they get indexed, they have keywords and stuff in there that people are looking for beyond the base of your blog post, and it can really start an avalanche of traffic and interaction with your site. And that's why I think blog comments are really important. So my biggest thing here on this point, before we really dive into the whole social integration in your blog thing, is understanding that when you get blog comments, when you receive them on your blog, it is very important for you to answer them, even if it's just a thank you. I appreciate you visiting the site. Thanks for interacting, or hey, I agree with your comment. I appreciate you visiting the site. Something to comment back. If people comment and they don't get any feedback from you, then they're not going to comment again. Okay, they're going to feel it's a dead site. They're not going to come back and comment. So you need to interact with people on your site. If you say, well, they're asking me questions that I don't know the answer to, you know what, do a little research, or if it's something you don't know, say, I don't know, but I found a great place. Even post a link to another site. Show them that you're willing to interact and work to find a solution to the problem, because that's 90% of the reason why people visit web pages to begin with, right? They're looking to solve a problem, to get information for a particular reason. And by interacting with them, you're showing them that you're willing to help them achieve their goal of finding a solution to their problem. Thus, that mental trigger where they feel like they now can provide some reciprocity to you and build that community with you, because you've shown them that you have some authority here and some expertise, and you've helped them. Okay, so blog commenting, not to be long-winded on it, is extremely important. Okay, now the combination here you have of Facebook on-page likes and Google Plus on-page likes, amongst everything else that you can put on as far as social media interaction, is probably the two most important. But I would say gaining importance over the other in terms of Google, you're talking that of course they're going to prioritize their own network first. Google Plus ones are definitely taking a higher degree of importance off your site. So for the longest time, everybody worried about Facebook and likes. Well, now the focus is shifting to Google Plus ones, because with more plus ones on your site, Google is using those as a tool for testing the value and authority of your sites. You know, is there a lot of sites out there that still don't use, you know, Google Pluses at all? Yes, there are, but it's very, they're going to find out here shortly how very important this is. Even in Webmaster Tools in Google, if you go in and create that Webmaster Tools account and go in there, they have a section for +1 metrics, and in the +1 metrics, you can see that Google's evaluating that as a tool to show value for your site. So it's very important to know if you're going to have any two social sharing things on your site at all, you need to have your Facebook like and your Google +1 on page. Now let's talk about the actual impact of what they do. Now these social media signals, when somebody clicks a like on your page, what actually happens? Okay, normally if somebody clicks like on your page and you don't have any kind of Open Graph integration, and we're going to get into Open Graph and what that means here in the next 2 slides or so. And if you don't have any Open Graph integration with a like on your page, all you're doing is sending a vote to Facebook for your site. You're sending them a like. They're acknowledging, yes, this page is liked by so-and-so, and it'll get shared on the individual's page who clicked that like. Okay, and it might get shared across their network of friends, which is a great thing. Okay, that's the power of Facebook, is the viral nature of Facebook. And if somebody clicks on like, they can end up sharing it across their network of friends on Facebook. Okay, now if you add in the Open Graph element to this, what happens is, and I'll get into more detail about what Open Graph is in a minute. If you add in Facebook Open Graph integration into your blog, what you now have is the ability to, as soon as one like is clicked, and you can do it yourself. You can click on the like button yourself on your blog page, and this is every page. I'm not just talking about your home page. I'm talking about every post and page you create on your blog. You can click like yourself, and what this does through Open Graph is actually creates a mirror Facebook page on Facebook itself, which can be accessed, but there's no, real reason to access it unless, and I'll do a addendum to the webinar here. I don't have time to really get into the whole intricacies of accessing those pages, but now with Open Graph, and I'll do a separate video for this now to think about it. When you click that like and you have Open Graph integration, you create a Facebook page. You create a brand new Facebook page. It's attached to your Open Graph app's profile. Now, what you can do is you can access that if you get just a ton of fans clicking on that like button on a particular, say you have a particular blog post that goes completely viral, and you have 1,000 people click on it. And you're saying, well, what now does that do for me? Okay, I got a lot of social sharing there, but I can't interact with those people who liked my page. Well, the reality is you can, and that's where the value of Open Graph is. And I'll get into that more here in just a minute. But I want to move on to get through this section, and we'll talk about Open Graph here in just a minute. Now, with Google Pluses, as opposed to the Facebook likes, the Google Pluses are giving you value and helping to boost your rank in the search engines, whereas before you didn't have that power with Google. Now you have that power with Google, and you need to have that on your blog. The difference, if you click on a +1, it does the same exact thing as Facebook. It shares it on your Google Plus profile, and it goes out to whoever you decide to in your circles, or whether you decide to do public. It's the same thing. Right now, what I have been doing for all my Google +1 shares, my Google Plus posts, I have been making them all public. And because I've been making them public, we'll get into Google Plus here in a little while as well, more detail. But for Google Plus itself, this will help amplify the number of people who join to follow you by making all your stuff public. And like I said, we'll get into Google Plus and Facebook here in a lot more detail here coming up. Now, the next thing, as far as social media signals on blog, what you have is Pinterest pins and Stumbleupon stumbles. Out of the two, you would think right now that maybe if you did a Pinterest pin to every image you have on every post, and there's plugins now, which I'm trying to get for the member area that does this automatically for you, is every image on your site get pinned to different groups inside your Pinterest account, and then you get people sharing and coming back to your site via Pinterest. There for a while, Pinterest was, and I think we just had this conversation in the forum the other day, Pinterest was making all their links do follow, which means that you were getting a lot of SEO credit for having tons of links on Pinterest. Well, now that's over, and they've changed them to no follow, and unfortunately, as we just discussed and looked into here the other day. And but there's still a lot of power in the viral nature and sharing aspects of Pinterest, considering that it's now the third largest social media site on the web. So it's very, very important to behind Facebook and Twitter to acknowledge that, and bigger than Google Plus, to take advantage of Pinterest's traffic and the social sharing and viral nature. I'd highly recommend that every blog post you create has a photo, some kind of image attached to it. Whether you get it from Google Images, stock photo, some PLR, whatever, you need to have a photo attached to every blog and blog post, and make sure you repin it or pin it. So on Pinterest. Now, one of the most, it's kind of taken a back seat here for some reason, and not getting as much press. But Stumbleupon, I stumble every single one of the posts I create. I have, tons and tons of traffic. Most of it's hollow traffic, and it doesn't have a lot of oomph to it, but it's still traffic, and getting people to your blog and having them say, maybe this is a blog I need, or a website I need to stay on, is a great thing to have. It's a great power to have. And when you start stumbling every blog post you create, you will get a really, really decent amount of traffic from it. I have different blog posts. Everyone has, different, the more interesting ones are going to get the most traffic, the keywords that people are looking for, obviously, right? So I have different stumbles that receive just tons and tons of traffic continuously. Very popular on Stumbleupon for different keyword phrases, and get traffic every single day to all my sites from Stumbleupon. So it's kind of that hidden gem out there. If you want to populate, and get a lot of additional traffic for your blog with little effort, I highly recommend Stumbleupon. Sometimes you only get traffic that first day with different posts. Sometimes you get traffic that first day. Sometimes you get intermittent over first couple weeks, and then some you'll have that are just the perfect post that fits the keyword profile that people are looking for, and it'll take off, and you'll get traffic from it for the next year. So understand that is the power of Stumbleupon. And if you're not using that via Social FM or any other sharing module, you need to. So okay, enough on that's. As you can see right now, we're 2 slides into it and already half hour, and we talked about just a ton of what social media signals are, okay, and the power that they have. Okay, now let's talk about, and don't worry guys, we're going to get into showing you live stuff on sites and stuff here and get into more detail. So don't worry, it's not all slides. So the next thing we're going to talk about is social media signals and SEO and what they mean together. Well, Google has really amplified the meaning of what social media and social interaction on your site, meaning the comments on your site as well. And they've really put a huge focus on this because they want their search results to be current. They want their search. If you go into the Marketing Resource Index blog, and you'll see that we've written a lot about Google updates on the blog. I think, yeah, you see here Google releases 50 new March updates. But if you go in and you look at the updates that we've posted, you're going to see that there is just tons and tons of focus on new content, relevant content, and social interaction. So the more social interaction you have, the more social media signals you send out for your site, the more Google is going to swallow that up. Now, just a quick caveat before I get into the rest of this is in the SEO and backlink building section that I added a little more than a week ago to Profit FM. If you go into that section and you go through to where we talk about sending out your social media signals through Ping FM, okay, understand this point. We use Ping FM strictly not for really interacting with people, but to get the signals out there, to use all available social media channels to get the signals out there. And I'm going to explain to you why in that section I talk about not doing this with Facebook and Google Plus at all, okay? Not automating what you do with Facebook and Google Plus, automating with other stuff. You can automate with Twitter, even though you should also interact with Twitter a little differently, which I'm going to talk about here as well. But that getting those signals out there is very, very important. And when you're just putting out blog posts, content, you're not doing any interaction. You're just telling people things. You're just telling them what your latest blog post is. And you might get click-throughs from that. You might get traffic from that. There's a real good possibility of that. But the main thing is you're giving Google those social media signals that they're asking for. And that's a really, really important thing. And it's only grown in importance. I've been doing this for the last 3 years, really, and in different ways, shapes, and forms. And it's only grown and gotten more and more relevant. Oh, I have a question. I normally wouldn't take a question right now, but I see it's relevant to what we just talked about. And it says, can you add Stumbleupon to existing posts and get traffic? Yes, of course. It doesn't have to be a brand new post. You can use Stumbleupon for, you can stumble posts that are 10 years old. It doesn't matter. You can use it for anything. Okay. But okay, back to social media signals and SEO. I talked about what Google's current focus is. Okay. Now, the big thing they're really, really pushing, and I sent out a promotion this little over a week ago, focused on Google authorship. Now, I'm going to step back here. We're going to look at some search results. Okay. Now, if you look at Profit FM search results, right? You see some difference here. I'll type in profit.fm. Okay. Now, as you slowly go down through here, hold on 1 second. You can see here that just through Google Plus, I hope everybody can see this right here, where it shows Profit FM and a post from Profit FM. That's from Google Plus. That's not Google authorship. That's Google Plus, what's called publisher. It's called a publisher attribute. All right. It's the same thing as authorship. Okay. Now, when you talk about all the metadata and stuff that Google's now adding to search, the only way right now, eventually, probably everybody's going to be doing this in the next year. But right now, not that many people are taking advantage of the Google Plus metadata combination out there. All right, authorship is a huge way to rank yourself ahead of other authors. What this means is, and here, let me show you. This here's publisher identification in Google. This is identifying Profit FM as a publisher, meaning a company. All right. Now, if I type in Profit FM and Mike Johnson, you're going to see here you now have a picture of me. You have Mike Johnson and more by Mike Johnson. This Mike Johnson link here on the left, this here goes to my Google Plus profile, and more by Mike Johnson, if I click on that, is going to bring up other content from across the web that I have identified to Google as my content. All right, I've put my name on it. In my Google Plus profile, I went in, I edited my Google Plus profile, and I put in there that I was an author on specific websites. I put a link to those websites, and then on those websites, I put the data that Google Plus wants you to put on there to show that I'm an author on those blogs under my profile information. So if I went into, let's say, Marketing Resource Index here, for instance, and we talked about, I'm losing myself, users, and I went into my profile, for instance. Okay, I show my name publicly as Mike Johnson, right? I don't hide my name. I show my name publicly. I put in my bio here, I put in here a URL that I got right from Google Plus. There's directions right in Google Plus for doing this. In the getting started part of Google Plus, the directions are there. It's written out for you. You get your information here that you are, this is my Google Plus link, and I have attribute rel author in there. Okay? Now, if you look at trying to think of the plugin. In your plugins list for the authority blogs, there is a rel and HTML plugin that a rel me plugin it's called, that allows you to use this in your bio to now connect to Google Plus. What this does then is, why did my Google Plus profile say it's 85% complete? It's because I haven't filled out all my description about myself and said where I went to high school and what college I liked and what my favorite color is. That's why I That's why my Google Plus profile was 85% complete. So I saw that question pop up, guys. Sorry. But we use the social author bio plugin, and you can put in all your social bio stuff in here. But because you see here now, down in the actual what my author box shows here on this blog shows my picture, of course, because it's connected to a Gravatar. Have plus Mike Johnson here, right? This connects back to Google Plus. This plus Mike Johnson collects back to Google Plus. On Google Plus, on the list of links you can add there as a contributor in your edit profile section, you can connect this. Okay? So what this does for you then is, obviously from what I said, and sorry guys, my phone's ringing even though I had it turned off. Now what we have here, if I go into the connections made, it gives us the listing we have, the author profile in Google. Okay, so that is a huge thing. When you're talking about, let me back up here and search. When you're talking about looking for what the power of metadata is, when you're talking about the authorship and what it gives you is, anybody can click on this link, this More by Mike Johnson link. What that gives me is a ton of other free, open, when people are interested and like my content, all I had to do is go to Welcome to Profit FM. They come to Welcome to Profit FM. They say, hey, I like that content. Who is that guy again? They go back to Google and click on More by Mike Johnson, and now they're accessing all the content that I want them to access because Google's given me that power to do it. That's a tremendous amount of power that gives you, okay? A huge amount of power. Now, you can see that was it. I typed in Profit FM Mike Johnson, but there was nothing else there. If I just type in Profit FM, where else is there? There's no other author out there that's getting any credit for anything in there as far as author data is concerned. So if we look at WP Face Pages, for instance, you'll see that I'm getting credit on there for that through the author metadata as well. Okay, that is the power of authorship. Now, when we talk about authorship, there's also a ton of other metadata out there that Google is providing us with to go out and enhance these listings. You've seen review ratings and stars in Google results. You see product ratings, this many votes, etc. All this is done through rich snippets. Okay? Oh, back up. Done through rich snippets. There's a rich snippets testing tool on Google. All you have to do is go in and type in the rich snippets testing tool in Webmaster Tools in Google, right? And you put a web page URL in here, right? But take a look over here to the right. Applications, authors, events, movies, music, people, products, products with many offers, recipes, reviews, TV series. This is all metadata that can be shared across Google simply by adding it to your blog. Simply by adding that information to your blog. Reviews is a huge one. Showing star ratings, etc. is a huge one. And that addition to Google will make people click. It'll increase your conversions exponentially above anybody else in the listings. You can be number 4, number 5 listing in Google, and you're now getting clicked on first because people see that as an authority above everything else. Please tell me you're going to show us how to do this in a later video. From Kevin. Yes, I am, Kevin. I got a lot of stuff here. I'm trying to get through it. We have a lot of information here, and only have 45 minutes left. So, moving on. Facebook Open Graph metadata, as I alluded to before, has similar power. Now, we talked about if you click on a like on a blog post or page, if I go back here to Marketing Resource Index, and I go down here and I click on the send button here, I click on the like button, and I like this particular page, what happens? That gets shared across Facebook like it normally would. We'll go to the wall of the individual, or to my wall, and then my friends and everything on my normal profile would see that. Okay? It would get shared around. Now, if you add in the Open Graph integration portion of this, you now have taken the next step forward. And you have two things. You have Social FM, and you have WordPress SEO. Now, the WordPress SEO plugin has a button, a link on it called Social. And I go over this in the WordPress SEO video, but let me talk about this here for a second. Now, in this section, what you have is, and I don't have this running because I'm running through Social FM, but if you click on Add Open Graph Metadata here, you can add a Facebook admin. And you click on that, and what that does is it opens up a Facebook window where you authenticate through Facebook, right? And then what you do is you add your Facebook page as an admin here for this. That connects you through Open Graph on Facebook. Okay. Now beyond that, you can put in standard image, description, and default URL, image URL if you want for people to see if your content is shared. If you have images on each page and you have content, this is not an issue. You don't even need to fill anything out here. It'll do it automatically. But you can do a default if you want to get everything shared and don't want to have anything lost there. Okay. Now, the next power of Open Graph is the SEO effect. Okay. Now, if you have this connection, somebody clicks on like, this now creates a Facebook page. It creates a Facebook page just for the post that was clicked on. All right. I have, for instance, 4 steps to creating a visually stunning Facebook timeline page. New post today on the Marketing Resource Index. Okay. I click the like button for this page. With Open Graph integration, it now becomes a Facebook page. 4 steps to creating a visually stunning Facebook timeline page is now a Facebook page that links directly back to my blog. To take advantage of this even more, I can go into my post section of my blog. Somebody says it does the same thing if Open Graph's not used. It's not right. It's not right. So if we talk about going in here and editing that particular page, okay, we're in here at the actual page. Now, if I scroll down to my WordPress SEO by Yoast section here, right, you can see you have all the different options. We can go into our advanced section and, oh, it's not up, of course. I didn't have Open Graph. If I had had the Open Graph screwed up, guys. Sorry. Well, I'm not going to do that right now. I'll just explain it. That open graph information will be in your blog post just the same. Okay. For instance, you have another tab here. If I had it activated, and it would say click on Open Graph, and you'd be able to go in there and see the same thing you can do here with your SEO title. Your SEO title here for WordPress SEO can be different than your actual blog post title. You can name your blog post one thing, and then you can make your SEO title another here in WordPress SEO, and it does the same thing for your Open Graph. What this does is it creates, if you change the name from what your blog post name is here, is it gives you a little bit more SEO value than having it the exact same name. Have it same base keywords, same keyword focus, but you want to maybe change it up a little bit and have it different. Okay, so as you see here, there's my social FM settings. Okay, moving on. That's the power of Open Graph, the connection it makes with Facebook that you don't get just by normal. That's a good question. I'm sorry, I just stopped and looked at a question here. If you use social FM, you don't need to use the social part of WP SEO, of WordPress SEO. No, in fact, the two integrate. We've built social FM, and that's what I'm going to get into when we talk about social FM. Social FM was built to integrate with all-in-one SEO plugin and with the WordPress SEO plugin, so they work together. You set them the WordPress SEO plugin up, and it actually limits what you get out of social FM, and then you can still use the additional features of social FM Open Graph. I'm going to show you here in a couple minutes. The power of Open Graph is the true integration with Facebook, whereas if you're not using Open Graph integration with your likes, you're not getting that true connection. You're not coming up in Facebook search for a normal like. If you have a like connected through Open Graph, you are coming up in Facebook search now. When people are searching for things in Facebook, which Facebook is now broadening itself out, it wants to have the power of a search engine as well. You are now getting found in search. So this blog post now connected, if it gets enough likes, because you have to have edge rank in Facebook, when you do that, you now get more rank and you move up in the search results in Facebook as well. Okay, so now this post can then be a part of Facebook and brought up in Facebook search. That's the power of Open Graph. Now we go back to Facebook pages themselves and SEO. When you take a look back and we go back to our search results, the power of Facebook pages is Google is still ranking these very high. Even though they're ranking Google Plus pages very high too, they are ranking Facebook pages just as high. So you talk about search results. If we typed in WP Face Pages, which is a very similar plugin to Social FM built by the same guy that built Social FM, Daniel Wasser from Switzerland. With our site here, WP Face Pages, you see that the very second listing here is our Facebook page. Okay, so that's the valuation of what these social media signals do. And then you talk about social media signals continuing. I talked very, very briefly about YouTube videos having the power. You can see here you have uploaded by Mike Johnson Marketing. Uploaded by Mike Johnson Marketing. We have search results. The first couple search results in Google are one, our blog, WP Face Pages itself, Facebook listing, and then just below a blog post that we review that we actually paid for is two videos from YouTube that we also created. So you can see how we can take over search results. We pretty much own the top search results for, of course, our own keyword. So it's not like we're working on a high competition keyword here. It's our own product. But you can see what I mean when you talk about the power of that social media listing. The same thing when I did you look at Profit FM. It's not in the top, but right down here, see which one it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see a YouTube video here by an affiliate. 4, 5, 6 listings down. You have our Facebook page. So you can see why it's important to have a Facebook page as well. You're using it as another way to build on your niche, to take over the search results in Google. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to take over the search results in Google by using the power of all these social media signals. I hope that makes sense. Now, and I briefly just said it, YouTube video. Now, for SEO, YouTube is huge and only getting bigger. They're really expanding on the power of YouTube video in listings. If you do, as in the course, I talk about this in the SEO and backlinking section, and I talk a little bit in content section as well. We talk about the power of doing a short video with every blog post. I don't do this myself. I should do it more, honestly. I should do it more because there's a lot of power to it. One of the things that has been extremely powerful for us for different things has been our videos. The What is Profit FM video for us in YouTube gets us about 20 visits to our site a day through the link in YouTube alone and from related video searches. It gives you a tremendous amount of backlinking ability, viral ability, and if you create a good channel on YouTube and post your blog posts up every day, talk to your readers on your site, it can be an invaluable tool, not just for having people interact with you and building that community, which it does, but getting the viral nature of YouTube and the backlink building of YouTube and filling out those search results as we were just showing. And you can see here there's a YouTube video in here for Profit FM, but with WP Face Pages you have the videos we created and made public right there, linked. Boom. Great way to continually build on your domination of the niche and the search results in Google. It really helps you take over. Moving back. Okay. Now let's talk about social FM integration and how the power of social FM to help you with all this. The number one thing is I was already video a question I had going back to the last portion. The video robot service, auto video robot, is effective in getting traffic and use the voice they provide, which sounds mechanical. You're right, it does. And if you're going to use that, service, it's mainly with capturing the viral nature of YouTube and the links and building on the niche and getting your links in YouTube and getting the power of those backlinks. It's not going to build you much community. But using auto video robot is more about when you talk about time management. There's a lot of stuff here we talk about. If you go through Profit FM, if you do everything that I tell you to do, even with just one blog, that can take, it's a full-time job. You know, running a blog is a full-time job. You're creating content, you're creating video, you're doing podcasts, you're managing your list, you're working, you know, for finding new content, and if you're working affiliate products, you're doing social media sharing, you're interacting with comments, you're doing all this stuff it's a lot of time involved. So when it comes down to building backlinks and everything else, that's why, you know, got to look at what you want from your blog the most, what you want your blog to be seen at as the most, and provide that to your visitors. And it really is niche based. You know, it's based on the niche. You have to create a site that fits the niche, you know, more than anything, to make your visitors happy. The happier your visitors are, the more productive and more profitable your site's going to be. So if creating videos automatically from your blog posts is the way, and I'm not saying you necessarily have to even post them, you can just post them to YouTube. This can save you a tremendous amount of time and get you a ton of great backlinks and search position in Google, and get people clicking on your link through that to get to your site. Okay, so I understand what you mean about the voice being mechanical. Yes, it is, but you can also take advantage of that just by having the video in YouTube and providing the content for users. Okay, now we'll go in here, Open Graph and WordPress SEO. I already talked about this a little bit. WordPress SEO, if you activate WordPress SEO, Social FM is set up for it. Okay, you can use the two together. You don't have to. If you want to use Social Open Graph straight from Social FM, use this by itself, enable Open Graph. This can do it all. You don't have to, but you can see here in the note in Social FM, the plugin does support the WordPress SEO plugin as well as the all-in-one SEO plugins. So you can see they work together, okay? You have to put in your Facebook app ID, your Facebook admins, which might just be you, okay? And it gives instructions here for how to do it. Your fan page ID, right? And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute when we go to Facebook. And you can or not use location. If you have a location-based site, if your niche is focused on a specific location, then enable the location stuff in Open Graph. If it's not location-based, then don't use it, okay? Some of these questions, guys, I'm going to wait till the end to answer them so we don't get off track here, okay? Now, the big thing with Open Graph is it allows you the power to dictate the images and stuff that people see. You can put in default images, as we showed in the WordPress SEO plugin as well. It has the same thing. But one of the big things here is content type. Now, and this is the real big thing. When we talk about Open Graph for Facebook integration, what content type does is it tells Facebook how to categorize your content coming off your blog, right? You already connected up here. You connected it to your fan page, right? So your fan page can be categorized as one thing, but then you can categorize the content here coming from this site separately. And on Facebook itself, then you can actually go into the Insights section of Facebook and actually see data for your actual blog and get actual statistics on visits, likes, shares, everything from your blog through Open Graph. Whereas if you're not using Open Graph, I know somebody said earlier in the question that you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing with likes and stuff without connecting via Open Graph, which was not correct. You can only do this through Open Graph integration. And you pick the content type. Let me go up here a little bit. And there's certain content types that will not be seen by Facebook as relevant. Okay? Right down here, you have blog, website, and article. Okay? These three things here, if you categorize your site as a blog, website, or article, then when you share with fans, if you create, your page gets created, you go share with fans across your Facebook page, because these are now connected, right? none of your content will be shared with their friends. It will only be shared with them. Okay? If you want your content to be shared with the friends of friends, meaning you want it to be able to go viral beyond your base fans who have liked your page, have done a like on your page, right? You have to pick something else as your content type. Something else here must fit your niche, and I'm sure it will. A lot of times I just put product, right? Any one of these other categories or content types can be picked. Company is a good one. You pick any of these other ones, and then the friends of friends will see your content when it's shared across Facebook. If not, it will not be. Very, very key, important part of Open Graph. Okay, and that's where Open Graph really gets powerful. Okay, now you can see here if you chose location-based. If you're a location-based niche, you're really focused on location, you can actually, and you actually have a physical business address, you can put it in here and put all the information in here as well, okay, on top of that. And that's the power of that. Now, social comments, the social commenting feature of Social FM really, really brings a lot of power. And it's really the same. I use Livefire on this site, and I've been testing Livefire as opposed to, I ran social comments on here for, I want to say, maybe 2 months. I ran social comments on this blog for about 2 months. I put Livefire on. To be honest, neither one of them is really giving me a difference in traction as far as comments. Content on the site is just not begging for community. People are getting information from it and moving on. They're not really heavily commenting on the site. Although I've had a decent amount with Livefire, but then when I was using the social comment feature before, it was kind of early on in the blog's life, and I still got a decent amount of traction from it. The big thing is this gives you the ability, when you enable social comments and you tie this into Facebook, you tie it into Twitter, right? And you show all you do want to show comment with. From all these interactions, you can connect this to Google, Twitter, and Facebook. This gives you the ability for anybody to interact with your content, leave a comment on your blog, and boom, really take advantage of the social nature of those interactions. And they'll go to people's walls, they'll get tweeted, etc. Now, you can use stuff like Discuss, you can use Intense Debate, you can use Livefire, use any of these. Social comments here with Social FM really gives you the same capability. It's the same thing. So, yes, I did say earlier, and I'm getting to that here shortly, Kevin. I see your question. Just hold off on that. I am going to talk more about that, so don't worry. But social comment feature really gives you the power. And all these comments, regardless of where a user submits comments from on here, regardless if they submit them from Google, Twitter, Facebook, or directly through WordPress, because this uses everything, they will be indexed. Okay, that's the real power of the plugin, and it gives you the ability to really do something different on your site. Okay, and of course you have the social sharing features and actually social sharing stats here with Social FM. It gives you the ability to do that. Content locking. The great thing about content locking, and I'm going to show you this here. Well, this is on our WP Face Pages site. Just to digress for a second, you see I did have the connection with Facebook here. You can see I connected my Facebook site admin, and I can connect the Facebook page to it if I want to, and that's the power of connecting with the your Yoast plugin and or the Social FM plugin. But what I want to actually show you is okay.
Hello and welcome.
I guess I have to try to do this quickly. Okay, I did this blog post talking about how to use a free SSL server for Facebook fan pages and Facebook apps a while ago on the WP Face Pages site. Okay, had a video here, everything. But if you see here, what I did was I put in content locking here for this to download a PDF. And you see here, already have access here. Okay, and it says 135 people came here, and of course our members had access to this. So this is external people from the site. Our members had access to this already. Now 134 people came and liked this to be able to click this and download it. That is the ability, that's the power of content locking. Okay, when you're using the content locker with Social FM, you have the pop-up locker and you have the regular content locker. Okay, when you enable the content locker, you have the ability to set it with Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. This isn't your normal just use Facebook, likes to unlock content. Here you have the ability to pick and choose what you want to use. Right now, you can say for specific content that you want to lock, say it's a video. Say you have a great blog post you've written and say, if you want to see a great video on how to do this, click Google Plus one and you'll get immediate access. Click and tweet about this and tweet it to all your Twitter followers now, and you'll unlock this video, or Facebook like, as we know. Okay, so you can adjust your message here, but content locking is a surefire way to really increase the social interaction on your site. Should you do it on every single page? It really depends on your content. I would not use it on every page. I'd create the guides we talk about. We talk about creating guides based on blog posts and everything. To have access to your guides, you say click like now to access a guide on search engine optimization. Boom. You'll have all kinds of people click on that to get access, and it'll increase the social sharing and interaction in your site. That's the power of content locking. So having the Social FM content locker, which I think is one of the most powerful content lockers out there because it does do Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, not just Facebook. It really, really can amplify your social media signals out there, and you can really, really be selective with the content you choose. It can be anything. I mean, you can select anything. You see how much of a small thing here. A small thing. All I did was protect this link right here. This is the only thing that was protected. So once the like was clicked, that's it. That's all protected and opened up that link. It can be a link. Have access to the link right now. Have access to this free download. Click like. It can be, you can get PLR products and say download for free this great product here for free by liking. It's the same thing as we talk about increasing the subscribers on your site and getting people added to your mailing list. It's the same concept. But this increases the social interaction, and it's a low, you want to make it a low impact thing. You don't want to make it a huge thing. You want to make it low impact. So, hey, click like for us and we'll give you access to this free content instantly. Boom, and they got it. Okay? The more low impact it is, the more, hey, we'd love to have you here. And great. Okay? Hey, Jeff, are you on the webinar right now? You're showing up on WP Face pages here. So I'm seeing you here on the on our people that have liked it. And you see here we have 1,304 people like WP Face pages. We did not go after people at all with that. We did not try to force people to like the page or anything. All we did was have this interaction on our site, and with this block on our site showing our fan page, this single block here, and we got 1,304 likes out of it. Now, of course, we did ask people to go look at our fan page right here, take a look at the WP Face Pages fan page, and we put a like locker on it for a while, and that did help things as well. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Okay, with the importance of our Facebook fan pages. Okay, Facebook fan pages. Why? Why Facebook? Because of, more than anything, the branding ability, right? Building fans helps you propagate your content across Facebook. It helps it get shared across Facebook. It helps it get shared into Google and other search engines, Bing, whatever. It helps it get shared across the web. Okay? Facebook also helps you capture leads to come back to your site and buy, click on your links. It provides a sales channel if you want to sell directly on Facebook, which I really don't recommend. Most sites aren't having a tremendous amount of luck with that. And as we already talked about, it gives you a tremendous amount of search engine optimization power. Okay? Now, if we go in to Facebook, and you see here, this is my admin showing here of the site. This is the WP Face Pages Facebook fan page. Okay? Now, the thing here you have now is you have your timeline set up now for everybody, and you have the cover page, the cover, which you can really use a broad, big picture for your cover. It has to be at least 399 pixels, and then you have your badge, your profile picture here as well. Okay. Now, also, each one of these, aside from your photos, which still can be branded, each one of these tabs here, especially your tabs here, can have a custom image. You can create a custom image here across that really highlights your, your ability to show things to your visitors and have them click on it. You can actually say, click on me on a badge here. You can put the images in there to say anything you want. And that's really the way you really need to get people in here, because as you see with, I'm using WP Face Pages as an example because the same thing as Social FM's page builder, very close anyway. If you go into fan page builder, Social FM, and I'm sure there's some questions here need to be answered as far as when you're talking about, you put in your app ID, your app secret, etc. You have two types of pages that you create here, right? So you have your reveal tab URL and your landing page URL. Now, you see here, you can instantly pick your pages out. One is simply shown to non-fans. Okay. Now, what that is it's basically that capture page, the reveal tab. The people have to click on like your page, so you can create a WordPress here in your fan pages. You see here, add a new fan page. In that, you create a page, and then you'll be able to select it here in the drop down. What you can create is something to ask people to like an image or a bunch of text written with images on it, asking people to like your content, like your Facebook fan page. All right. Once they do, then this here, the next one, is the actual page that they will see after that. And you only need one. And the reason why you only need one is because with the fan pages you create here, you can create full websites inside of Facebook. So here, this has already been liked, as you see. So I'm not seeing the previous non-fans page. This is just the actual landing page here in Facebook. I now have a full-fledged website in Facebook. Now, you can have two focuses in Facebook. Two focuses. First focus is lead capture. Your second focus is sales and conversions. For 95% of you, it's going to be lead capture. Here, because we are advertising a plugin, right, we're focused on getting people to buy our product. So here, we are focused on our main page here. We get people to buy our product and see the capabilities of it and become affiliates. That was our focus here on our fan page. You can see here, you can literally click through, create this menu here is in, just like in Social FM, is created in your custom menu section. Here in appearance and menus, you can create your own menus and literally create a full website inside Facebook, giving you the ability to give visitors exactly what you want them to see. You can post content. You can have some of your best posts linked through there back to your blog. There's tons and tons of different ways to do it. But we go back here. Clicking the wrong thing. So if you go back here, the number one way to capture leads in Facebook is, and you see it everywhere now, the number one way is to run contests. You see more contests every day on Facebook, and it's also why I put out the other day about the contest domination plugin, because it does Facebook social sharing, Twitter tweets as well, everything. It's all about lead capture. If you go into any sweepstakes on Facebook, it asks you to like first, and for instance, this promotion's over. But if you go to for instance, AppSumo is huge on this. AppSumo will have a free deal to get you in there, and see the first thing they're having you do? Complimentary deal for you today. Just enter your email address and send me the deal, right? Email capture. They just captured a lead. They just got you, right? But also before this, if you haven't already liked them, I think there's a like gate on this page as well. So, and then if you scroll down, and what they're doing here, you're going to see deals, and contests. See here, MacBook Air contest, Amazon gift card contest. How about a MacBook Air for you and me? iPad contest. So you can see what they're doing to drive the train, right? They're using contests to pull in leads. They're getting people to like their page, and they're getting people to opt in. I'm looking at a question, guys. I'm sorry. If you had to choose between collecting an email address for the PDF or a Facebook like or Google Plus, which would you do? it depends on the content, and everything has to have an objective. It's easy to say, yes, I just want to collect email addresses, but that's not the case. The biggest misnomer out there in list building is that, and you guys know it yourselves, I'm sure that there's some emails that I've sent you that you're like, oh, I'm getting another promotion from Mike Johnson and for Profit FM. I'm getting another email from these guys, right? Makes you want to click on the unsubscribe link. Right? You got to think of it from that perspective. Why do people want to be on your list in the first place? What has made them want to be on your list? Now, you have to have an idea of, okay, I'm going to capture people's email for this. What am I going to be sending these people? For instance, if you capture email leads, as you see here on the Marketing Resource Index site, right? I have Connect with Us Now. Download the Google Traffic Wave product here, put your email in, and subscribe to my blog. The only thing that I send to the people on this particular list, the only thing they get from this being on this mailing list is updates from the blog itself. That's the only thing I send to them. Okay? That's my purpose for this. If I want to increase likes and get more social interaction and try to get more traffic to a particular page, then I'm looking at maybe putting a like button, a Google Plus button, maybe all three, maybe Google Plus, Twitter, and Facebook, and that way when people see it, the people that don't like Facebook and are big Google Plus fans will click Google Plus. The people that are the Twitter heads and love Twitter are going to click on and tweet it, etc. You know what I'm saying, right? So you have to have a focus and a purpose for every list you create. There should not just be one mailing list that you ever create. You should always, every time you want to take a subscription or somebody's email address, you need to do it for a purpose, and it needs to be a focus on why you're collecting that email address. Because you can't just blast out promotions to people and expect them to stay on your list. People will unsubscribe, and you won't have anybody on your list. You have to give people value first, and then after that, and you can say, hey, like I try to keep my promotions very focused on what is going to benefit Profit FM members. I have so many offers and promotions come across my email account every day, you can't even imagine how much I delete. I am very selective. I try not to send out too much, and I try to make sure it's something new and valuable that's going to help my list as opposed to hurt them. So the same thing's applied. If I have a strategy for doing something first, for whether it's email capture or and getting people back to getting email capture for this, for a blog, for your main blog, and then sending them updates to your blog, what does that do? It gets them back to your blog and gets them clicking on the links in your content, right? Which could be your affiliate links, which making you money, or clicking on your ads and clicking and making you more money, okay? That's the power of it, okay? Now, I'm sorry, going back to our Facebook page. The second way, I told you about, there's really three ways you get fans. Three ways you get fans. Content on your blog, or content on your blog, or content on Facebook. I consider that one way, okay? People come because of the content. They want to interact with the content. They want to hear you talking to them, and I'm going to talk more about that in a second. The next way is through contest or some kind of deal or offer, okay? Contest, deal, or offer is the second way. The third way is through Facebook ads, where you have to do Facebook advertising and ask people to come to your fan page, and then you send them. The thing about Facebook ads is you can send them directly to this page here, like this, here on AppSumo. AppSumo sends people directly to this page all the time. They send you directly to that page through these ads and not send you to the main fan page. That's the new power of Facebook timelines and Facebook advertising. They did that on purpose because they want more people paying for Facebook advertising. Okay, but that is the power of Facebook advertising, and Facebook advertising is a whole nother subject in of itself, which I could do a whole probably 3 or 4 videos on. Oh, a good question here. Social FM, creating your fan pages. You can connect this to any pre-existing fan page you have on Facebook. Any pre-existing fan page you can connect it to. And you can add in your Google Analytics code here as well. Okay? And the big thing is, one of the questions I think Kevin had here on the forum was that the app to page thing, do you really need to be connecting tons of apps to pages? No, but every time you connect an app, you can, for example, for creating your fan page here, like I showed you with the WP Face pages, you only need one app. But now, if I go back here, and I want to create, see, this is an app right here. This map, this is an app, right? If I want to have, and then you can see here, you can have additional apps. See, we now have additional, they have additional tabs here. Every tab in Facebook, all these are tabs, every single one of these tabs, minus your photos and likes, they require an app. Whether you get it through Facebook for free and the app's already connected, through some kind of, program that's creating stuff like this, or whether it's through your Social FM plugin, right? You don't create a new tab like this unless you have an application. So that's why you might want to have multiple, have a tool that manages multiple applications, and that's why that's available inside of Profit FM in the Social FM section. So backing up once again, that's your way you collect fans. But now let's talk about the difference between why you don't auto post to Facebook. Auto posting is okay. Don't get me wrong, guys. I auto post to Facebook every single day. I have hundreds of blogs that are auto posting to Facebook, and it is the only way that I could possibly ever do it and get my social media signals out there through Facebook on the fan pages I create. I have over 200 Facebook fan pages. Most of them are not even close to being set up with the timeline. I might have a picture here where you have the profile picture, but I'm posting content onto Facebook. I'm using Open Graph, and my posts are being auto posted. Here is why. If you're building an authority blog, and it's focused on building authority, branding yourself, showing you're an expert, etc. When you add, say you did a blog post and you want to add that to Facebook, you want to talk. You want to talk to your visitors. You see here, AppSumo shared a link, right? See, they're talking here. They didn't just post a link. It's not something generic. They are talking to their customers. Look, Sumolings, in honor of today's featured deal, tell us what is your favorite spy movie. All right? The same thing. If we go to the Profit FM, as you can see here, we have to do some work on our welcome page and stuff. But if you see here, when I post here for Profit FM, I don't just auto post. None of these are auto posted. I'm talking to the fans, the 13,146 fans that we have in Profit FM. I'm talking to them. I'm not just posting it. I'm saying something to them. Okay? I'm putting a description in there, trying to talk to my members. I do the same thing on Marketing Resource Index. You see, I don't even have a cover here. But if you go in, I'm very focused on talking to people want to make your Facebook timeline page stand out from the rest? Check out how in 4 easy steps you can set yourself apart now. Right? Then I have the link to the content. I'm trying to talk and build community with the people that visit my fan pages, as opposed to, you see here, same thing. Everyone, I'm talking to the people on the site, right? Even if I'm not getting people to talk back to me. You see I got a couple likes here, a couple likes there. But if you look in, you see my insights here, a lot of people are being reached with the content because it's being interacted with. Okay, you can see how much it's going up here in this time frame. It's really going up, how much they're interacting. Okay, even if the people talking about this are not super high, they're really, really interacting with this. One of my test fan pages, which I really have pushed this a lot. You see here, I just posted today. You have tons of people interacting with it. This is I'm a huge Penn State football fan. So this is my We Are Penn State fan page. I have over 13,000 likes on this page. I got all of those likes via sharing and Facebook ads. Over 2 months, I spent $400 and I got 13,000 fans. And I'm preparing to monetize this fan page and start having people do free offers through CPAs and contests, because people are used to seeing contests on Facebook, and I'm going to add some contests here that are CPA offers and make money from that. You can see here, though, I talk to people interacting. Look, I have 39 people like just the fact that I put this picture up today. I also posted an article, something today, making a mention about the Penn State's blue and white game this weekend. Right? I had 29 people like this, 5 comments, and a share off of that so far today. And it was posted 5 hours ago. So this gives you an example about talking to your people. Now I have people really, really on the site, on the fan page, working with it. I had 124 people like this one, 11 comments, 18 shares on this particular post on March 1st. So when you talk, when you communicate with something, and especially in most of the niches that you guys can create these fan pages from, you can talk to your community out there, even when you don't think they're listening. As I said, you can talk, and your insights here on the blog will give you the information that you need to, you see the insights here. This will give you, look, 7,000 people reached, all kinds of people talking about it. It's a lot of reach for this content. It's because people want to talk about it on Facebook. They want to be interacting and communicating with you. Some of the niches you can pick out there, some of the niches you guys are already running your sites with, you can really, really, really take advantage of. I have a good question here. Are not call to action disallowed in the timeline? And we cannot have a landing page as our main page. You cannot have a call to action in your timeline picture. In this picture, for instance, you cannot have a big thing here, buy from us now, click below, advertising on your timeline thing here. You can do it just fine inside your, just like I showed you in a tab. In the tabs, you can click on the tab like I had on WP Face Pages and had that call to action. You can have that. I had a question. All the sites and examples you show are for people that have been around for ages and are extremely successful already. How about some examples for people who are just starting out? That marketing resource index site, that fan page, is 4 months old. It's 4 months old. That's it doesn't. These fan pages, you throw a cover here, you throw this on here. It's just a matter of adding the content from your blog, talking about your niche, talking about the stuff that's on your blog with the people on Facebook. Even like I said, when nobody's here yet, and you don't have any fans yet, you don't have any likes, send it out to your personal friends and stuff. Say, hey, like my new fan page. Get them to like it. The worst thing you can do, the only way, this is something I should have said before, paying for likes. Okay, paying for likes is okay when you first start out. It's okay to get to where people think you have likes on your page. All right, paying for that initially is fine. As far as the services out there that'll they give you 500 likes for $35 or whatever it is. Go into Fiverr and get 100 likes for your blog, for your fan page. Right, you can do that to give yourself some credibility. It's a great way to start off and get credibility. But do not use that as your sole source of fans. Let the content on your site, interactions with contests. I honestly believe if you truly want to move forward with Facebook itself and pull leads from Facebook, that the best way to do it is through Facebook advertising and pay for it. But you have to really know what you're doing with that, and it is part of a future course that we are looking to do. This that shows how to do Facebook advertising. But it's otherwise you need to use content. You need to use content locking. You need to use contests that are free out there. There's tons of them. I talked about the content domination plugin. It's the reason why it's out there is because Facebook and interaction with contests is huge. And WordPress blogs is a great way to capture leads and bring people to your site. But you got to get it out there. You have to use social interaction, and a lot of that is done through Facebook advertising anyway, and people paying for it. So somebody says it's like taking a water out of a fire hydrant. It's information overload. I agree. It is. It is. So go back through the video here afterwards and get the most out of it if you can. It says, can you mention an example of monetizing a contest with CPA? CPA, cost per action networks out there. There's tons of them out there. Offervault.com is a great place to go for checking that out. But if you, for example, you have tabs. There's just normal tabs you can add to your Facebook fan page. You can add a contest that is a CPA ad. There's tons of sweepstakes and contests that businesses like Best Buy, Walmart, Starbucks, etc. do. You can add that to your fan page, and then people click on that to enter that contest. It looks like it's your contest when really it's not. It's just an ad. It's just a cost per action ad, and you can get some of them up to $5 every time somebody enters the contest. Allows you to do that, and you can make a lot of money off of that. But for the most part, to take advantage of that, you need over 10,000 fans on your site, real fans, not ones that you buy. And that's why I was talking about buying fans is good for initially saying, hey, here I am, I'm relevant, I'm a good fan page to come to. But real fans, because most of those services don't give you real fans. Real fans are people that came to your fan page, interacted with your content on your blog, really enjoy what you're doing, and are interested in what you're doing. And they stay a fan and they see your posts here on Facebook, and they continue to interact, and they come back to it. You see here and talk about it on your site with you. Those are the fans that are important to keep. The fake fans mean nothing. Okay? Real fans mean everything. Fake fans mean nothing. So remember that. That's a very important part of it. Do I just have that fan page and not a website for the Penn State thing? Yes, this is fan page only. I do not have a website for this. I actually went to create a website for this, and the reason I don't have it is because I talked to Penn State administration, and they told me that they would ask me to take the site down if I created it. So I didn't create it. I have actually bought the domain name and everything, and couldn't turn it into a site because of licensing. That's the only reason this is just a fan page. And how does Twitter work in this as far as relationship to Facebook and Google+? It's the same thing. You could literally spend all day doing nothing but working with Twitter, and I'm going to go to Twitter here at the very end. That's the last thing I'm going to do, and show you the difference between Twitter and Facebook and Google. It's a huge difference. Okay. Okay, now we're moving on, guys. There's so much. I could spend 10 hours in here just on these subjects. Okay, it's just a lot of content I got to get through here. Okay, in relationship to auto posting, as far as Twitter, and I'll talk about that here in a minute, Kevin. Okay, hold on. I got to finish this next section, then we'll talk about that. Okay. Okay, why Google+? I'm trying to wrap this up in the next 15 minutes, guys, because that'll be 2 hours. And I'm sure not too many people want to sit through 2 hours of video in the member area. Now, we'll talk about Google+ here real quick. Google+ is turning into an identical map. It's identical to Facebook, okay? But you don't have the ability to create the fan pages right now that you do in Facebook. You can create business pages. They just don't have the oomph right now. Right now, business pages in Google really, to me, don't have much power at all. But you can create that publisher association, just like the author relationship. You can create that association with your site and get that boost in the rankings in Google. If you remember what I said in the beginning here, Profit FM showed you. I think I have to put a dot in here for you to show up. Yes. Okay. This is showing Profit FM as a company, as a business, but Google classifies that as a publisher. When they look at you, they classify you as an author, okay, when you're creating content on the web. Okay. Now, when you create a Google page, Google+, I'm going to Google+ here, you see here in Google+, you can post here. It's almost, they've made it almost now, it's really morphed over the last couple months, like a combination of Twitter and Facebook in how they present the content. I really like it. It's really good, but with everything else, you really want to spend all that time in both, okay? You can see here, this is a great example of same thing as I said in Facebook. You're talking, right? The great thing about Google Plus is just like Facebook is you can add names to it and get people to interact. The guys from Google Plus Conspiracy Code, when they did their launch, they did a tremendous amount of work on Google Plus here and had tons of people interacting. You can see here the interaction on Google. The power of Google Plus, though, where it lies in the connection you make. So I go in and I, go to my settings, or I have too much stuff covering it up here. If I go into my profile, right? If I go into my profile and I go to edit profile, and this is what I was talking about before. If you scroll down here, there's a section where it says Contributor To. In the Contributor To section, these are the sites I connect to that I want my author name of Mike Johnson connected to those sites. And with those connections, click Finish Editing. With those connections, then that's how I connect as an author across, with using Google Plus across those sites. Okay, now with Google Plus, then you have pages, right? You can see here is Marketing Resource Index page. And the Marketing Resource Index page, it's really, compared to Facebook pages, it's nothing. You can put pictures up here and have things splashed across the top here and everything. But the power with this is simply connecting it as just like I showed you with Profit FM, is popping up in search results here as a publisher as opposed to an author. And that just highlights the site and your content for that site. Okay, that is Google+. Now, the same thing. You get followers in your circles, and you can really segregate people in your circles and how you want your content to go out. But when I send content out, I really focus on, you go to click here to add content. You see here, my default is public. I send everything out as public unless I had something for like JVs that I have separated in circles, and I have JV partners that I just send separate things to and in my circles and whatnot, and you can then segregate there. But for the most part, I'm doing public, and the reason I do public is because then I get this content not only shared with anybody that comes to see my profile, but I also get it shared in search results in Google. And that's the huge thing. The power of Google Plus is Google. It's the sharing onto Google itself, and the super SEO through metadata and Google Plus search. Because in Google Plus itself, if we go back, Google Plus has a search right here, and I can go click on profit, and I go profit, and it pulls up Profit FM in Google Plus search results right there. And I could type in marketing resource, and Marketing Resource Index comes up, okay, for that. So that's the power of your Google Plus, the SEO. You can use it as lead capture. You can use it as sales channel. The same as Facebook, somewhat, but it's definitely not quite there as far as. So you wouldn't spend a lot of time writing on your Google Plus pages. No, actually, I don't spend as much time as I probably should on my Google Plus pages, Kevin. I should interact on those pages just as much as I do on the Facebook pages. I'm trying to find a good tool. Right now there's different ways you can manipulate it, but I'm trying to find a good tool that will allow me to, say, post on Google Plus on a particular page and have that same content posted to my identical Facebook fan page, the same exact content, the same way. But then again, I want that content to be a little different. But I have yet to find that tool. I'm still looking for it. It's something that we might want to create ourselves. That would be a great thing to do. The big problem is the developer API. Google's been real tight on it, so they won't even. There's nothing out there that allows you to auto post to Google Plus right now at all. So that's very difficult. But as a channel for authorship in Google Plus, just using your base profile. And you go back to using your yes, back here, I got back to it finally. Your base profile. This here carries a tremendous amount of weight in Google search results as well. And this is where most of your circles will be and everything. And if you go through search results in Google, you've probably seen it already. A lot of big authors, really are shining as far as that's concerned. I don't know if I can get a. Let me see here if I can pull one up. I don't know if I spelled his name right. Chris Perillo is a great example of a guy who's really gotten on with Google Plus, and you can see here, he has taken advantage of authorship quite a bit. So, and using images, YouTube, everything. Chris Pirillo is really on it. And you can see here in 1,095,593 Google Plus circles. So he has a tremendous amount of reach. And that is where I think Google Plus is going to set itself apart here as opposed to Facebook and whatnot. It's really building, as far as business is concerned and expanding your reach and your branding. Google Plus is really there. Now, to finish this up, guys, I'm going to talk about Twitter real quick. And the one thing I didn't talk about a lot was LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn, when you're talking about LinkedIn, the only thing you should do with LinkedIn, you should definitely have LinkedIn accounts. A powerful lead engine. You can really collect a lot of business leads on LinkedIn. In fact, I recommend going on the marketingresourceindex.com site that I showed here, Marketing Resource Index, and going on there and looking at our in our social media marketing. We have LinkedIn stuff on how to take advantage of LinkedIn in business. Great articles how to do that. And the same thing with a lot of social media stuff here. We have tons of, my writers have researched and really dug in to a lot of stuff here with, you can see here, how to use Pinterest to get more website traffic, analytics, Twitter followers, social media marketing, Google Plus trumps Facebook, keeping up the social media. There's just, we have tons and tons of stuff on there that I really recommend going on there and searching through. Okay. Now, for Twitter itself, you can see here, I'm auto posting. 4 steps to creating a visually stunning Facebook timeline page. And then first part of the thing written up there. You see, I haven't really engaged in Twitter very well, although I have 9,976 followers on Twitter. And at one point I had just over 10,000, and I really haven't pushed Twitter as much as I really should. Twitter takes a degree of interaction where when you type into Twitter, if you are not using hashtags to, you know, for instance here, put in Profit FM. We've added so much to Profit FM this week to help our members, and I put hashtag make money. All right, this is so this content can get found in Twitter. This is me actually writing stuff out here, right, instead of just auto posting. This same thing, how to use, and I put hashtag Pinterest to get more website traffic. See the free tutorial here, and I have a link to the article in the Marketing Resource Index. All right, that is interacting, but people really start conversations on Twitter, and you need to spend a tremendous amount of time to do that, to build that kind of base. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. Literally, with each one of these social media channels, you could spend a tremendous amount of time with, and that's why me personally, I automate Twitter, because you see, I do some manual posts, but for the most part, when it comes to social media, to get the most out of what social media is about, and that's interaction, social interaction. Social interaction means interacting and actually providing something to value to talk about, and then commenting on that, right? The only way you can do that is to do it, to physically do it, to manually do it. You can't do it at all. Do I hire out for any of this? Like I said, most of what I do is all automated, or I do have a crew, and I mentioned this in the forum. I have a crew of 15 plus or minus Philippine workers. It's actually a company in the Philippines that manages all my blogs for me. They build my link trees. They follow my, I just give them access to my training for the most part, and then I give them specific details on each blog. But I really worked this over the last 3 years, and they know almost everything I want before I ask, and most times I just have to tell them, yeah, go ahead and do that. Hey, add Pinterest to this now, and they do everything for me. And I pay a decent amount of money for that, for as many blogs as I have, as you can imagine, but it's worth it. So yes, I do hire out, and as you should. When you start making money with this, you then hire people to do some of these tasks for you. Most companies have social media managers that do all their social media management and sit there and do tweets all day long. The owner of the company isn't doing it, except for maybe once in a while, but he probably has his own Twitter account, that he's tweeting on, as opposed to the company one. So, or Facebook account, or Google Plus account, or LinkedIn. So these people are not doing it themselves. Businesses are building up, and then they hire a social media manager. They hire a marketing team to do their marketing for them and build their backlinks for them. So we don't have the luxury of that. When we're starting off, you don't have the luxury to do that. You have to create this stuff yourself and build from it, one blog at a time. Decide what you need, what you're going to auto post, what you're not going to do manually, like I chose here, for the most part. Well, not in Profit FM, but my other account. And you got to choose and pick the thing that's going to work for you the best to get you to the end state that you need to be at, to get to that piece of productivity that you need to be at with your blog success. I hope now that throughout all this, I'm only going to answer one or two more questions, guys, and then I'm going to be done. This has already been 2 hours. It went a lot longer than what I thought. Yeah, I think it's pretty funny too. My throat's raw, and I didn't even get to drink any of my water that's sitting here. Okay, there's a lot of content. What I would like everyone to do, I'm sure this content here made you have a lot of questions. Okay, what I would like you to do is go into the forum, go into the member forum. Don't have 20 threads on this. Somebody create a single thread, and then everybody jump on that thread in there and ask all your questions on there. And if I need to do a follow-up video for that, I'll do it. If I need to just get in there and answer key questions, we can do that. Maybe even I can post some screenshots or something in there as well. Go into the forum and create a thread, and even Kevin, if you can do that, if you have time. And that way I can answer the questions you have. But to be honest with you guys, that's 2 hours, and my throat's burning right now. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope it was good, and I hope you got a lot out of it. As you can tell, there's still a lot more the social media that we didn't have time to dig into. There's a tremendous amount of stuff here that really you can see that there's a lot going on in social media and how you can integrate it with what you're doing with your blogs and Profit FM. And I hope you can take this information and help you be even that much more successful with your Profit FM blogs. Have a great night, everyone. I appreciate you coming. Thank you very much. And unfortunately, Gary really had a hard time coming on here and couldn't participate. Made me burn my throat out. But that's okay. I hope he was listening and got a lot out of this as well. I thank everyone for coming once again, and have a good night.